Getting your driving license starts with mastering the basics. In this first lesson, we're going to cover the cockpit drill, main car controls, and how to move off and stop smoothly. Hey there, it's Ed here, and welcome to Ray Driving Theory channel. This is the first video in our full driving course, designed to take you from very first lesson all the way to the driving test day. Let's start with something that every good driver takes seriously, the cockpit drill. This is about more than just ticking a box. It's about feeling in control of your space. When your seat, mirrors and steering are set up properly, you can focus on the road, not adjusting things while you're driving. It also helps reduce nerves because the car starts to feel like your space. This might feel like a small step, but if you skip it, everything else, steering, braking, checking mirrors, becomes harder. So take the extra time to set up your driving position every single time you get in the car. So let's start with the cockpit drill. It's DSSM. So D stands for doors. First thing we need to do when we get in a vehicle, we need to make sure all doors are shut. Not only your door, all of the doors. So we're gonna have information on the dashboard, or either interior light's gonna come on. So make sure all doors are shut and it's safe to go. But we're not going anywhere yet. Now, next, S, seat base. Basically, what we need to do, we need to adjust our seat base. We can move the seat base back and forwards, which would be back and forwards, and we can move it up or down. If we start with the seat base, now what we need to do, we need to make sure we can reach the pedals and we can operate the clutch comfortably. So whenever I'm gonna adjust my seat now, I'm gonna go, okay, is my clutch good? I will move my seat in a comfortable position. That's there. If I need to lift it up, I'm gonna lift it up. So that's me with my seat base done. But we're not done yet. There's still other parts to do on the seat itself. So now we need to adjust the tilt of the seat, which is generally a nice little twisty thing on your right side of the bottom corner there. So I can adjust the tilt of the seat. I don't want to be lying down too much. I want to be sitting up nicely and comfortably. At the same time, I'm going to make sure and check that I can reach the steering wheel. Still a little bit too low, a little bit higher up. Yeah, that feels good. And the last thing what most learners forget to adjust is the head restraint. So the head restraint should be adjusted that the rigid part of the head restraint is level with your eyes, which on this occasion, my head restraint is too low. I'm gonna make sure I lift it all the way up and I'm good. So why do we need to adjust the head restraint? Head restraint is adjusted so it prevents you from a whiplash injury, basically protects your neck. The moment we're done with the seat, the next thing is the steering wheel. Steering wheel can come out towards you, go down, go up. Mine's generally adjusted all the way back in. Whenever adjusting the steering wheel, I need to make sure I can see through the steering wheel my dashboard as well. That's now nicely adjusted. I'm going to secure the steering wheel, and whenever we adjust the steering wheel, we want to make sure we're not reaching out to the steering wheel. We can hold it nicely, and we have a nice little bend in our elbows, because if you're going to be reaching for the steering wheel, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be somewhere far away from you. You want this all feel nice and ergonomic to you. So now we have done our seat base, we have done the back, we have done the head restraint, we have done our steering wheel, so we feel comfortable, and we can put our seatbelt on. You might think, you can't put a seatbelt on. There is something to think about. So whenever we put the seatbelt on, we obviously make sure it clicks in nicely into the space, it doesn't come out, and we make sure the bottom part of the seatbelt is nice and flush, same as the top. If we're gonna have the seatbelt twisted slightly, if we're gonna have an accident, this could potentially cause a heavy injury. So we want it nice and flush, so if the accidents do happen, this spreads out the force against your body and it's not trying to cut into you. So make sure your seatbelt is done. And the last thing is now our mirrors. We need to adjust the mirrors so we can see around the vehicle. When adjusting the mirrors, I generally start with my center mirror. Make sure you sit yourself nicely back in your seat and you reach over to your center mirror with your left hand. Try not to touch the glass, reach over to it, sit back, and you want to adjust it so you can see the full view of the rear windscreen. Something like this. So it's nicely balanced toward the sensor. That when I'm driving, I can move my head, I can see what I need to see in the mirror. Side mirrors. So side mirrors we can adjust from the button here. Each vehicle could be slightly different. So mine has a little twisty button, which I twist over to the right mirror. My right mirror is selected, and now I'm gonna move this mirror around, and what I'm looking for is the front door handle to land in the left corner of the mirror. So I'm just moving my button around to the left, to the right, up and down to find the best position for the best view in the mirrors. And now we do exactly the same thing when this is set up with our left mirror. I'm gonna move it around a little bit more. Move it around, make sure the view is front door handle, a little bit of body work, and I can see around the vehicle. So, and now we're done with all the cockpit drill. We're also set, we're all comfortable. Make sure if you do this on your instructor's car, don't be shy to adjust and play with all these controls. If you don't know where which control is, ask the question. Tell the instructor how you feel. They're gonna help you to find the best position possible, because it's very important to feel comfortable. That's gonna affect your control over the vehicle. Remember, learning to drive isn't about watching, it's about practicing the right way. With the Ray Driving theory app, you can prepare for every step of your learning journey, from theory questions to real driving scenarios. Download it now using the link in the description. If you're learning to drive in the UK, hit that subscribe button. We've got new lessons and tips every week. Now that you're sitting comfortably, let's get to know what's around you. These are the tools that you will use every time you drive, and the sooner you understand them, the more confident you will feel. We'll start with the pedals, clutch, brake, and the gas. So, clutch is on the left. We use left feet to operate the clutch. So when we press the clutch all the way down, it disconnects the engine power. And when we bring the clutch all the way up, it connects the engine power. Brake is in the middle, so that's gonna slow your car down. And gas on your right, which we could say accelerator, gonna give more power and increase the speed of the vehicle. So whenever we work with the pedals, it's important that our left feet works the clutch only, our right feet works the brake and the gas together. So the best way to do it is if we put the heel down, like resting over the brake, let's say it, and whenever we need the brake, we use the brake, and when we need to use the gas, we can slide over to the gas, and we're not gonna apply too much pressure on the gas there. We're done with the pedals. We have our gears. So we have 6 gears and we have a reverse gear. So whenever we change gears or select gears, we need to put our clutch down, select the gear 1, select the gear 2, select the gear 3, 4, 5, and 6. Or if we would need to select the reverse gear, we can push it down and select our reverse gear. So it's quite handy. Before you start driving, try to feel where each gear is, play around with the gear stick, try to feel which position each gear are located, and a good little practice is try to memorize the pattern then. Close your eyes and just play with the gears. While the car's off, the car's not gonna go anywhere, so try to get yourself your muscle memory to memorize it. That's it with the gears. We have our parking brake. My vehicle has got electronic parking brake, so we technically don't need to do anything with it, apart from whenever we need to secure the vehicle, we would pull the parking brake up to secure the vehicle, and that's done with the controls here. But on older vehicles, we have the ratchet style parking brake. So that's as well, if you lift it up, that secures the vehicle. If you push it down, that releases the parking brake and the vehicle will be able to move. Now, hand controls. We have our window wipers. Let me just... Hand controls behind the steering wheel. So generally on your right side, you can have your front and rear windscreen wipers and washers, which I could wash and clean my front windscreen, for instance. I could switch them on and off. So that's on your right side. Your indicator is going to be on your left side. So if you want to signal right, you push it up to signal right. If you want to signal left, push it down to signal left. Very important. Try not to go and grab the indicator lever, because then you're not going to have a control with it. Keep your hand on the steering wheel and try to use your fingers. Push it up to signal right, push it down to cancel it, and push it down more to signal left. Push it up to cancel it. So that's done there. Now last thing, let's go on to the dashboard. So the dashboard here, mine's a digital dashboard. I have my rev counter on the left side. I can see the red P, that means my parking brake is on. Rev counter, so that shows you your engine rotations per minute, so RPMs. If I would now press the gas, RPM is going to go up, and by using the rev counter, we will be able to indicate when to change gears. So generally between 2 and 3,000 revs would be a good time to change gears, depending on the vehicle as well. Now we can see our fuel level, mine's kind of low. I have 67 miles left. If you look in the middle, that's my speed. I will be able to see a digital speed, and I have a normal speedo on the right side. So obviously I'm not moving, it's not going to go up, but that's where I'm going to see the speed I am traveling with. So that's all the basic first information you need to know for your first driving lesson. Now comes the exciting part, actually moving the car. The key to moving off smoothly is preparation and observations. If you set things up correctly, you're already halfway there. Okay, so moving off routine. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my clutch down first. I'm going to get my gear one. So this is my preparation zone. I'm not going to get my biting point yet, because if I will get the biting point, my parking brake's going to release and my vehicle's going to start moving forwards. So we need to do our 6-point check. So I'm going to check my left shoulder, technically all my mirrors all around, and right shoulder. That's done. I'm prepared. I'm going to use my indicator. I'm going to signal right. I'm going to check my mirrors again and my right shoulder. And at this moment, I'm gonna get my biting point, keep hold of it, and I'm gonna keep hold of the biting point for a little second and bring it all the way up. And here we go. That's my first move off. I'm gonna cancel my signal, and now it's down for us to pull up on the left. So mirror signal maneuver. So I'm gonna check my sensor left mirror. I'm gonna signal left. I'm gonna touch the brake very, very gently. I'm gonna put the clutch down. I'm going to increase the pressure on the brake slowly, steering over to the curb. I'm going to straighten the car up nicely, a little bit more when I'm happy, and that's a nice and smooth stop. Now, parking brake, take it out of the gear, and cancel my signal. I can let go of my pedals, and my first move off has been done. We have done now a couple move offs. We're starting to get used to the vehicle a little bit. We've done it nicely, slowly in the gear one, let's say, and now it's time to get ourselves to change gears. Now we're going to do the whole thing again, and I'm going to show you how to go into the gear 2 and how to go into the gear 3. So clutch down, gear 1 as previously. Now my skill is a little bit better. I'm a bit quicker on doing all this stuff. Brilliant. I signal, I'm ready, I'm checking. My clutch control is good. I get my vehicle going. Beautiful. I will have to add a little bit of gas now to get my revs up around 2000. I'm gonna go clutch down, off the gas, nice smooth gear change to the gear 2. Gonna bring the clutch up and equally squeeze the gas to balance it out. Now nice smooth gear change. Now I'm in gear 2, I'm traveling a little bit quicker. Beautiful. And I'm gonna accelerate a little bit more, get again to the 2000 revs, clutch down, off the gas, gently, gear 3, no rush, bring the clutch up gently, touch the gas. And that's how we change the gears. Let's talk about a few mistakes that almost every learner makes and how to fix them early. Not adjusting your seat properly leads to poor control and will make you feel uncomfortable. Lifting clutch up too quickly will lead you to stalling. Over-revving when you're moving off will burn your clutch out. Sharp stops and shaky gear changes will give you anxiety and make your passengers feel uncomfortable. The trick is not to avoid mistakes, it's to correct them quickly and turn good habits into a muscle memory. So, what to do is you can practice the clutch control and the biting point without doing any routines at the start in a nice safe environment, and just try to work with the clutch only. So if you bring the clutch up to the biting point, keep hold of it, and you feel the car start to roll, lift it up a little bit more, hold it, and gently bring it up, and then go for a nice, gentle stop. Repeat this exercise as many times as you need to start to feel comfortable. Even more, what you could do is you can get the biting point, edge forward, clutch down. Bring the biting point up, edge forward, clutch down, slow it down, nice little stop, and keep practicing that clutch control as much as you need, because it's important to get it into your muscle memory. Another mistake is over revving when we're moving off. This is painful to do. Okay, so if you're using your gas too much before the clutch has actually connected with the gearbox and the engine. So you're on your biting point somewhere and you go, and the car doesn't go anywhere. So that's not gonna do any good to your clutch and the car itself. As previous practice with installing, the same thing. Try to get the biting point up. When the car starts rolling, hold it and only then add a little bit of gas. Some vehicles may require to set the gas. So if you're setting the gas, then make sure that your gas is set very little and it doesn't go very high revs. Tiny bit, keep hold of it, and then work your clutch together with the gas and increase the gas. As well, repeat it as many times as you need to get it in your muscle memory, because your body is not used to do it yet. Common mistake, sharp stops. That's gonna make you anxious, make your passengers feel uncomfortable. It's just not gonna feel right. What we can do to make the car stop smoothly. So we are planning our stop. Let's say we're gonna be driving in the gear 2, the speed is a little bit quicker. So make sure your heel is positioned on the floor and you move your feet off the gas, nicely over to the brake, gently touch the brake, clutch goes fully down and gently increase the pressure. So the car's slowing down, and towards the very end when the car's about to stop, just ease off a tiny bit of the brake and the car's gonna come to a nice stop. The problem generally is with sharp stops is we're starting to brake too late and we wanna apply too much pressure. Make sure you start your braking procedure early and apply gentle pressure. Try to feel how much you're pressing the brake pedal. Don't try to jump on it with your heel up and with your toes. That's gonna apply too much pressure, it's gonna be out of control. So you wanna anchor your feet in on the floor. Shift it over, gently touch it, and gently increase the pressure. Towards the very end, ease off the brake a little bit and let the car stop smoothly. You're gonna be amazed how smooth stops you will do. Again, practice as many times as you need. Shaky gear changes. So with the shaky gear changes, there's multiple factors. It's coming off the clutch too quickly, it's not adding enough gas, not rev matching it. So there's multiple reasons why we do it. The key is to do it all nice and smooth and without any rush. So we're moving in the gear 1 nicely. We're gonna accelerate a little bit, squeeze the gas, time to change the gear. We're gonna go clutch down, gear 2, we have plenty of time, bringing the clutch up and using the gas at the same time. So we want to try to find that balance. When we get the biting point with the clutch, we add a little bit of gas and balance it out. Too much gas, gonna create it shaky. Not enough gas, again, it's gonna be shaky gear change. Or either, if you're gonna come off the clutch too quickly, it's gonna be another shaky gear change. Every great driver starts with these basics. Practice them until they become second nature, and you will feel the difference in every lesson that follows. If you're serious about getting your license, make sure to subscribe. New lessons are coming out every week. And don't forget to check out Great Driving Theory app. It's a perfect tool to help you pass both your theory and practical tests. Download it now using the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next lesson.